I very rarely, occasionally, obsessively watch porn on my phone. And when I do, I integrate it into my nighttime rituals. I wash my face, I floss, I take a puff, then I brush. Then I do my stretches. Then I type in my search words. Let me just say, my search words are not anything I would want to happen in real life. I don't know why they're my search words, but they are. A great man once said, the heart wants what it wants. So my search words are gangbang. Not want that to happen in real life. Amateur, because I don't like seeing like piercings and tattoos. It takes me out of it. Cum, which I would not have thought you had to put cum. I thought that was a given in pornography. You have to put cum. If you don't, you might not get cum. If anything, I would think you'd put non-cum if you don't want cum. And then there's one more. Oh, high fives. So I put my iPhone, I lean it against my water on my nightstand, and I think I'm maybe the only person that watched this video all the way till the ends, like when the video freezes. It's, of course, a gangbang, and, basically ends with all the guys coming on the lady's face. And I don't know why face was the quiet word there. All the men come on the lady's face. And then right before the video freezes, I heard a guy say to her, hey, great job, I know you were sick. You find humanity in the oddest of places. So my mom was in the hospital and I visited her. I don't need segues. The brain doesn't work that way. A train of thought bounces around from thing to thing. But anyway, speaking of a whole bunch of men coming on a lady's face, my mother's been sick. And I visited her in the hospital, and she said, it's weird. You know, there was this Jewish volunteer service that came by, and they were visiting the Jewish patients, which is nice, but isn't that so, like, elitist? Like, what did they, like, banana around the non-Jewish patients? Like, none for you. But my mother's last name is O'Hara. She married a John O'Hara, and she said they visited me. Like, how did they know I was Jewish? And we looked into it, and it turns out they count how many times you press the call button. I had you ever have a memory that you haven't had since the event happened? You know what I mean? It's so crazy. I had this memory of being like 3, and I would shower with my mother. And like my mom got her water from the shower head. Like that's where she would get her water with which to cleanse herself. That water would then cascade down her ample bosom and like pike off of her 70s Jew bush. That was my water. And that's the thing, it was a happy memory. I associate it with happy. I don't know why. Like, it was my very own curly shower or something. Maybe because we didn't need words. You know, it wasn't like she was like, you get your water from my pubes. You know, we didn't need any of that. It was like I was like a native that knew you could get water from this leaf or something. It was animalistic. I was a bedwetter well into my teens, and when you're a bedwetter, there's only one group of people you can feel better than: bed shitters. And unfortunately, they're hard to come by. I love this, the HBO 39. But I grew up in New Hampshire, and there are not many Jews in New Hampshire, and we weren't really raised with any religion. We were just Jewish in that it oozed out of our pores, you know. But I didn't feel so different until maybe like around third grade. Kids started blaming me for my people-killing Jesus. I remember like even then thinking like, it's not like we killed baby Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, he had quite a run. He was 33. 33 is young. If someone dies now at 33, it's terrible. But I mean, back then in the oldie-timey times, 33 was like elderly. Dying at 33 was like he had a full life, you know. And by the way, you're welcome. If we had not killed him, he wouldn't even be famous. You know, and nothing seems crazy when you're used to it. There's so much crazy shit everywhere. We're used to it. And everything seems crazy when you're not used to it. That's why so many comics make fun of Scientology, right? Because because it's a batshit crazy religion, but it's no more batshit crazy than like every single religion. It's just new, you know? Christianity is super old, but it's fucking crazy. I mean, you're born a sinner. By being born, you are a sinner and you're going to hell. But you can just apologize and then you can go to heaven. No big deal. If you're a murderer, same thing, it's just apologize and go to heaven. You can be Hitler and go to confession and say, "Forgive me, Father, I killed 6 million Jews." And the priest would just be like, "No problem, say 10 Hail Marys." And Hitler goes to heaven. Hitler goes to heaven is the name of my band. Scientology is weird because it's new. It feels weird in our ear holes to hear people worshiping a guy named Ron. We know Rons in our life. He had to change his name to L. Ron because there was another Ron Hubbard in the Writers Guild. That's how recent a religion it is. And people who follow their religion to the letter of the law are just silly. I mean, I want to tell Hasidic Jews, I promise you, God will not mind if you wear a nice cotton blend in the summer. You're being fucking ridiculous. But we live in the greatest country in the world. A country where we have freedom of religion and separation of church and state, only we don't at all, and nobody says anything because we're used to it. It says in God we trust on our money. It says in God we trust above the judge's bench in a courtroom, in a court of law where you have to put your hand on a Bible, the Christian Bible. It's not my Bible. I mean, if I tell the truth, it's because I tell the truth, not because I put my hand on a book and made a wish. That's fucking crazy. That's craziness. And stop telling girls they can be anything they want when they grow up. I think it's a mistake. Not because they can't, but because it would have never occurred to them they couldn't. You're planting that seed in their heads. It's like saying, hey, when you get in the shower, I'm not gonna read your diary. Hold on, are you gonna read my diary? What, are you crazy? I just said I'm not gonna read your diary. Get in the shower. Girls grow up so fast. It's like they don't have childhoods anymore. They're sexualized so early. A girlfriend of mine has a little baby girl, and I babysat her. I changed her diaper, totally shaved. 6 months old. What a country. That's my new catchphrase. I know that Yakov Smirnoff said it in the 80s, but I'm repurposing it with a malaise. I just want to shake girls. All the girls here, I want to just tell you, you don't need a vaginal deodorant, okay? I know it seems like a real thing because there's real commercials, and for some reason we trust that commercials mean it's real, and there's real products on shelves. No, it's a made-up need made by greedy, money-addicted, faceless corporations preying on a woman's greatest insecurity, smelly vagina. If you use regular soap and water in the shower, use whatever you wash your asshole with. How about that? Surely that's strong enough for your disgusting vagina. Rinse. And if when you get out of the shower, there's still like something, like a rancidishness coming, go to the doctor. Don't spray perfume on it. That's fucking crazy. That's what a crazy person would do. Do you see now? Are your eyes open? Are you living a conscious life? I'm lucky I don't have to worry about that, because I've been with a few men who have told me that my vagina smells like a peach tree. A peach tree dish. Is that a thing? That joke took real life acting. You had the craziest reaction. His arms were folded and he just went like, oh, Sarah, you're incorrigible. Oh, I'm corrigible. It's not all the man, it isn't. It's not all corporate America. It's us, too. We have to take responsibility, too. We shit on ourselves. We scrutinize ourselves. We think that self-deprecation is modesty. It's not. It's self-obsession. And there's no room for anything else. You think Mother Teresa walked around complaining that the tops of her thighs touched? I mean, they didn't. She was stick thin, fucking bitch. But she wasn't like, okay, this is fine, okay? But it's like, then I clench and it's all oatmeal. No, she was busy. She had things to do. You know, one thing I've noticed, people who say the phrase, threw me under the bus, say it a lot. You know? And I don't think it's because they get thrown under the bus a lot. I think it's because they deflect blame a lot. I think it's because they look inward not a lot. And Jesus had a great quote, and I know all his quotes are great. There's no Jesus B-sides. But, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically like, if you don't deal with your shit deals with you. But it had like doth in it. And it's so true. And I made a short list that I think can help people who don't look inward ever. One, if you quit being cunty, the whole world will stop being against you. If you have terrible luck with roommates, you're the terrible roommate. It's you, doll. If you feel like the whole world is judging you all the time, you're an alcoholic. I don't know why, but specifically alcohol. Dear sirs, your middle-aged pierced ear tells a different story than you think it does. To women of a certain age, your heartbreaking and drastic attempts to look younger are the reason your daughter doesn't dream about her future. Insecurity burbles up in all corners of us, you know? Either you have a chip on your shoulder, you feel like people are disrespecting you all the time, or you get really braggy, you want people to know who you know, but you like hide it by shitting on them. Like, how many fucking videos of a monkey smelling his assy fingers and falling out of a tree can Helen Mirren send me? It's like, ridiculous. Look at my space work there. It's impressive, isn't it? What does that tell you? BlackBerry. Guess what? Guess what? I don't even own a BlackBerry. I shadowed someone who does for months to do that bit. There are people that it's their survival, it's the way they deal with life to see themselves differently than the way the rest of the world sees them, you know? You get the idea if these people were 1 or 2 degrees more onto themselves, they'd fucking kill themselves. I consider myself one of them. I get out of the shower and I'm like, nice try, mirror. Those are obviously my mom's boobs. Sometimes insecurity proves you right. I mean, when I moved to LA, I had an eyebrow. And my roommate at the time was like, hey, let's go make this into 2. Like, each eye can have one. And so I went to her waxing lady. I'd never been to like a waxing lady. And the lady called me in and I'm like following her into her room. And she turns around and she goes, what are we doing today? Just the mustache? I don't have a mustache. What? I bleach my mustache. That means it's invisible. Bright yellow means you can't see it. But she did, she waxed it. And I remember walking out of the door and being like, I could feel the wind on it, you know? What about this one? Yeah, whatever. That like jerk off thing? I believe that's from Insecurity. Yeah, whatever. What is a guy saying when he does that? He's saying, whatever it is we're talking about here, I don't give a shit. Really? I think you do give a shit. If he didn't give a shit, wouldn't he just be like, I think you do give a shit, sir. What is he saying? He's saying, whatever it is we're talking about here, please don't think I care. Oh my God, I would die if you thought I cared. In exchange, feel free to know my personal jerking off style. It is so important to me that you think I don't care about whatever it is we're talking about here. I am willing to exchange that for you knowing that my masturbation style is that like I don't move my hand. Like my hand is still and I like fuck my hand. My hand is locked. And then like I pretend it's a vagina. I'm not a faggot. And I fuck my hand. I make it like she's shorter than me, like it's lower and I have to like scoop it in. Oh, fuck you. Sometimes I say it, I go, scoop, scoop, scoop. But please don't think I care, oh my God. I would die. Traumatic things happened to that guy. Traumatic things happen to all of you, by the way. Traumatic things happen to all of us. We just don't realize it because there's no music informing us how to feel or what's gonna come up. There's no slow motion. It just happens in real time, and then the next moment and the next moment. My sister used to babysit me when I was 3. And she would, okay, I used to think this was a heartbreaking story about me. It's a heartbreaking story about my sister Susie, because she was so starved for love. She was so needy for love. And she would come out and she'd say, Sarah, if I drink this orange juice, I'm gonna turn into a monster. And I was so scared. I wish I had the foresight to say, hey, how about don't even pour the orange juice? But I didn't. I didn't think that far ahead. I was 3. And I'd go, Susie, no! And she'd go, whip open the laundry nook and put on this brown leather ski mask, which, why the Silverman family needed a brown leather ski mask, I still do not know. She puts it on, she's like, wah! I mean, I thought I was going to die. I felt the feeling of I'm going to die when I was 3. And then this is what's so heartbreaking. She'd go, I'll only turn back into Susie if you hug me. Like, I wish I had the wherewithal to be like, Suze, you want a hug? I'd love to hug you. Let's cut out the middleman where I shit my pants. But instead, I'm inching towards this monster I'm terrified of to hug it. Oh, God. I'm sorry. That's every relationship I've ever been in. There you go. Breakthrough on stage, HBO special. She would take that threw me for a loop. She'd take the biggest knife out of the kitchen drawer and be like, it's so funny, like, I could kill you right now. Isn't that funny? She gets so upset when I bring this up. No, she's so sweet now, and it literally makes her cry when I bring this up, but thank God she doesn't have HBO. But she's like this liberal, hippie, feminist rabbi that lives in Israel now, and she's got 5 kids, and her oldest daughter's going to Brandeis next year, which is, only from Israel can going to Brandeis be a step down in Jewiness. I don't know if you're familiar with Brandeis. It's not technically a Jewish school, but I think this team mascot is a nose, and that helps you at all. Okay, this would be terrible if I had just made it up. I didn't. This is really upsetting. But the University of North Carolina did a study, and what they found was that 9/11 widows give great handjobs. And don't shoot the messenger. I wish it wasn't true, but, or I'm happy for them and their new boyfriends. I made that up. I'm sorry. I made that up. I thought of it and it made me giggle, and then I got really sad, and then I still needed to say it to you. I don't know what part of me needs to say to you that 9/11 widows give great handjobs. It's dark. That's something I'm going to talk about in therapy. But I wanted to say it. I needed to say it to you, and so I built a frame around it that forced you to not be able to blame me for saying it. But you know what? I feel like you should take some of the blame. Honestly, because you decided to believe that the University of North Carolina would spend money on a study of what? trauma-based hand jobs? That's crazy. You're crazy. You're being crazy right now. I need more rape jokes. I do. Rape jokes are a hidden gem in comedy, let me explain. Rape, obviously, the most heinous crime imaginable. Rape jokes are great. No, because they make a comic seem so edgy and so dangerous. And the truth is, it's like the safest area to talk about in comedy. Because who's gonna complain about a rape joke? I mean, I would say rape victims, but they're traditionally not complainers. I know, that's a tasteless joke about the fact that rape victims often don't report rape. I mean, the worst thing that could happen really is someone comes up to you after a show and is like, look, I'm a victim of rape, and I just want to say I thought that joke was insensitive and inappropriate and totally my fault, and I am so sorry. Yeah, right? Let's take back the night back. Oh, God. I hope I don't have to say that, no woman is asking to be raped. I actually do think there are some women who are asking to be motorboated. I have a dog who is 19 years old, and that's true. And he, sometimes the audience claps because they're really happy for me that I took care of a 19-year-old. No, forget it now! Don't, stop! He's got these beautiful big blue eyes floating over his big brown eyes, and his breath, I've really, really thought about this. His breath smells like if all the farts from all the different cultures and nations in the world combined together and then passed through my grandpa's teeth. And he was constipated, and it's so heartbreaking. When a dog is constipated and you can tell because their little knees quiver, they quiver. And he's pushing so hard, and then something broke through, and his mouth made a shape I've never seen on a dog. I didn't know was possible. It was like a perfect circle. Oh! And his little tiny rectum was bleeding, and I went to take a picture, for the vet. The vet is what I call Twitter. And when you take a picture but it's video, you don't realize it? It was basically a picture, but it was like a second and a half, and it had breath. Ended with me going He's great now. He shits like crazy. Only thing that keeps him from shitting in his pants is he doesn't wear pants. That's a terrible joke. If you do have a dog, here's a great game. You're gonna love this. When you're having sex, lock eyes with your dog. And then you see who looks away first. It's a fun game. Pussy is a word, it used to have so much power over me. When I was in high school, the word pussy, it was so it grossed me out, and yet it was titillating, and I felt like I had Christmas lights inside me. Like, it just affected me so much. I don't even understand how. But when I was young, it was like if somebody said it, or if I read it somewhere, or sometimes I would write it down and look at it. Now I'm just dead inside. Pussy. Who cares? I found a way to make pussy gross again. It's so simple. All you have to do is like puff out your cheeks when you say it, like pussy. Pussy. Now say that becomes old hat. You can add some elements. A deadness in the eyes, a lisp. Pussy. Hey man, you wanna go out and look for some pussy? Pussy? You look so confused. You don't know how to feel, just like me. And I first heard puppy. If you're drunk and throw up on a man's penis mid-blowjob, you can save the moment if you can muster a ta-da. You guys, this is embarrassing. This is a confession, okay? Sometimes I get an orgasm from giving a blowjob. Is that normal? Is that like to get an orgasm from not giving a blowjob, taking a shit? You don't understand. I'm at a show too. You're my show. And that joke is so fun to tell because, like, at the first juncture, the guys are like this and the girls are like this. And then it just goes, woo. It's like the wave. Don't forget, God can see you masturbating. But don't stop. He's almost there. I'm just kidding. There's no God. I believe in miracles, though. I really do. I mean, they're obviously science-based, but they're beyond my comprehension, so to me, they're miracles. That's what miracles are. And we are miracles. Think about this. Every single person in this room tonight, all 39, including me, 40 of us, there was a time in history, a blip ago in the scope of history, where we were all microscopic specks. That was far out, right? Everybody got deep. There was a time where you could fit 1 million of me on the head of a pin. There was a time where I lived in my dad's balls. That's the only life I knew. There was a time where I literally was choking on my dad's cum. I was 5. No, I'm just kidding. That's disgusting. Erase. That's not part of that joke. It went in my head and then I couldn't be alone with it. There was a time, my dad, Donnie Schleppy Silverman, who does my taxes, who I Skype with every Saturday, there was a time where I literally exploded out of the guy who taught me to ski's penis hole. can't believe I was ever that thin. I'm an Obama person. Yeah? I like him. I've liked Obama since before he ran for president the first time when he was a senator in Chicago. Not like I'm so smart or hoity-toity. He was on Letterman and I thought he was cool. And I remember when he decided to run for president, I was like, I'm gonna work on that campaign. And I did. And because I live in Los Angeles, I could go to this fundraiser out here that was just star-studded, like a who's who. And you could walk, he was just a senator at the time, so you could walk right up to him and pet him. And I did. I wanted to think of something smart to say or question to ask, and I was like, Senator Obama, when you were a student in Boston, did you ever encounter any racism? And I'll never forget what he said. He said, I'm Kanye West. And I was like, totally. Like, I'm Kanye West too. We all are. I get it. We're so divided. We live in a very divided country. Like, it's crazy, It's not even about ideas anymore. It's not even about ideals anymore. It's just teams. It's just the Red Sox and the Yankees. It's just hatred, And I think whether you're liberal or you're conservative, it's so important to remember that all of us love our families, love our country, believe what we're doing is right. Maybe liberals are a little more open-minded, a little more progressive. Maybe conservatives are a little less progressive, a little more faggotish. But I pray for them. I do. I was just literally praying for the billions of teeny tiny Republicans that die every single year in hookers' assholes. I know what some of you are thinking, and you're right. Really? That's what you're gonna pick on, the Republican Party? That's what you're choosing to pick on, surely there are Democrats that have butt sex with prostitutes. You're right. You're 100% right. There are. But Democrats aren't trying to take my rights away. So when a Democrat gives a hooker anal warts, she can then go to a clinic and get that shit zapped. It's just bewildering to me that a party that is so about having big government out of their backyard is so intent on legislating my pussy. People don't make the simplest connections, I feel like I have shit here. I don't. That'd be my biggest fear. Okay. Do you have anything in my teeth? I ate blueberries. Yeah, people don't make the simplest connections. I think because we're so close to our own lives, but even in deep ways, but even in not deep. Like I used to work at a club, like a music club, kind of like this, and had tables, and I was, I lit the candles at the tables and put the flyers out and stuff. And the band that was playing had sound check, and they did their sound check and left, but the drummer stayed, and she was just sitting at her drums, watching me set up, and I was talking to her, and I made some stupid joke, and she goes, "Ba-dum-bump." I was like, that comes from drums, right? You're sitting at drums. It's like people who go, don't get your dog from a breeder, get your dog from a shelter. You're a fucking asshole if you get your dog from a breeder. Okay, I agree, I got my dog from a shelter, but it's always coming from a woman who's like nursing a baby with 4 other kids, and I just want to say, like, get your people from a shelter. You know there are human puppies in shelters, right? But people don't like people as much as they like dogs because they don't see what they hate in themselves looking back in a dog's eyes. You know, if Africa was just all labradoodles dying of AIDS, we would take care of it in one day. But I want to have kids. I'm great with kids. I am. I have a lot of bits. Like little girls between like 2 and 6-ish, I like to go like this. I go, I'm going to tell you a secret. You cannot tell anybody. I'm a princess. But I dress regular so people treat me normal. And their brains fucking explode. It's so funny. And then the rest of the day they're spying me like I'm a celebrity, which I know I am, but a lot of toddlers don't know that. And it levels the playing field. Or boys or girls, like toddler age, like 2-year-olds, if their parents like introduce me, I like to go, I'm your new mommy. They're so into like their mommies at that age, they're always like, no, you're not. And then I go, I'm just kidding. And then just as they start to relax, I go, I'm your real mommy. That's more just fun for me. But I want a baby. The thing with me is like the caveat is I don't want like a 10-year-old in 10 years. You know what I mean? I want a baby. I figured out a solution like I think works for me. I'm not preaching it to anybody, but like I think I'm gonna adopt like terminally ill babies. Every 6 months to 2 years-ish. I feel like there was like a blanket of judgment like in this area. Why? Are you thinking like what kind of person would look to adopt a dying baby? I mean, I think an amazing person. I'm amazing. I have my heart is too big. Like I can't take it. My heart can't take. I don't like being made to feel. Like Pixar movies, no fucking way. WALL-E, like the idea to me of a lonely robot in space breaks me. Good, bad, I don't want to feel. I don't like it. Like my mother sent me an email that said, elephants reunite after 20 years. Delete. I am not even gonna read that. That will kill me. I'm afraid it will kill me. Those commercials with like a starving kid in Africa with flies buzzing around him, I have to remind myself, like, it's just an actor, it's just an actor. I love being able to see all 39 of you. I think it's so cool. But you know who's amazing is the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Just to, you know, if you're not familiar with what they do, they work with terminally ill children and young adults. And what they will do is they will grant these kids any wish they dream up, except for not dying. Which I feel like I'm being nitpicky, because what they do is amazing, but like, I feel like that's gonna be maybe even like 60% of their number one wishes. I just feel like if there was a suggestion box or something, I'd say maybe call it like make another wish. You guys did a great job. I'm gonna reward you with an incredible song. Is this in tune? Are you a musician? Oh, you should get a haircut. All right. Let's make this real hot and sexy. Nothing but the best for the Largo 39. If you call yourself a diva, you better be a singer and not somebody cutting me in line. Oh, if you call yourself a diva, you better sing a solo and not be someone treating me unkind. If you call yourself a diva, it better be for reals and not some sad, pathetic kind of front. If you're selfish and you're thoughtless and you're broken and you're heartless, you're probably not a diva, you're a cunt. Cunt, 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 cunt. Cunt, 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 cunt. Cunt, 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 cunt.